Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Falicia Fracassi, CEO of a chain of beauty lounges and medical spas in multiple states. She is a mentor to many. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss and achieve financial freedom. And now, here's your host, Falicia Fracassi.
Welcome back to Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Falicia Fracassi, and the objective of this episode is to kind of go over the 7 steps to problem solving, which you're going to need in business. Also, this is the episode where we are going to be doing a giveaway, $200 to someone's Cash App as a cash prize. So please make sure you listen to this episode to its fullest. And as an entrepreneur, we're constantly solving problems. If you're just tuning in, we're constantly dealing with problems. We're constantly dealing with people's problems, phone call problems right in front of you, computer problems. There's all kinds of things, that software issues, payroll issues. We've got the subcontractors issues. We've got a lot of constant problems because you got to remember, when something goes wrong, you have to handle it. So I'm going to quickly go over the 7 steps to problem solving. Effective problem solving is one of the key attributes that separate great leaders from average ones and great business owners from average ones. The first step is simply identifying the problem, figure out what the problem is. Once you do that, go right into step 2, which is to analyze the problem. Really think about it. Really think how it happened and just put it all out there. And step 3 is simply to describe the problem. This came into effect when we had a lot going on in the store. In the previous episode, I was talking about how people of different nationalities and different currencies were coming into the store, and sometimes we were losing out on money. I'm sure if it's in the construction business, there's something that's always going wrong. If it's the retail, you have theft. There's always got to be some type of solution to these problems that you're handling. And the 4th step is simply look for the root cause. If you don't look for the root cause and get that root cause out, or figure out a solution for the root cause, because sometimes you can just get someone out of the operation, and that truly is truly one person that is the root cause, and that's fine. But there's other times where the root cause isn't exactly a people issue. It's more like an issue that's happening continuously, and that one needs to be addressed. But first you need to find out where the problem is coming from. I always tell people, if you want to solve a problem, go to the root of the problem. I remember when I was a child, my mom would always make us pick these dandelions out the yard because she hated dandelions in the yard. And me and my sister, we thought we did a good job. There was over like 100 dandelions in the yard. We'd run through the yard with all of our energy at 9 and 10 years old. And we would just kind of pick the flower and gather it up. And within like not even 2-3 days, the dandelion was back. And we were like, how the heck did this dandelion grow back? So one day, my mom was like, well, what are you guys doing to get these dandelions out? I said, we're just ripping them up by the head. And what do you think we're doing? And she looked at us and said, oh, no, honey, you actually have to get it by the root, and then it won't come back. And that applies to the same thing in business. You want to take something, the issue from the root of where it's starting at, the very bottom of it, pull that thing up, and then you're going to start a new path for the business. We had one person in the store that was basically not pulling up they were just dead weight. We were always having to do everything behind them. They show up whenever they want, talking crazy to any of the employees, not focus on the job. And it was just weighing down the energy, and they were the root of the problem. So we had to let them go. And then don't be scared to let people go, like we talked about in the previous episode. And if it's not a people issue, if it's the root of the problem, meaning that there's something dysfunctional in your operation, you need to figure out what that is and quickly try to develop an alternative solution, which is step 5, developing that solution. If one way doesn't work, as an entrepreneur, your mindset needs to change to figure out another solution. In an average day, I have to come up with probably about 20 to 30 solutions to problems. I'm making phone calls on how to fix something as soon as I hear about it. And like I said, leaders must have this skill. Once you figure out what the solution is, test it out, try it and see if it works. We immediately knew that having people pay in advance at one particular store, only at that one store, solved a lot of problems because of the different currencies that were coming into the store. And then there was things that we did even afterwards. We still had to follow up and make sure that the transaction cleared and all this crazy stuff happening. And then we have other markets where it's kind of considered rude to ask them to pay in advance. So we basically let them pay at the end, and we don't typically have a problem. See how smooth we did that? Okay, that doesn't work. What's next? A mindset of a person that is not a leader would say, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, this is just not going to work. We're doomed. We'll just have to keep on taking the payments as we come and miss them. Some we do, some we don't. That's not the mentality you have to have. You have to say, all right, that doesn't work. What else? Do we go to cash option? Do we do option B, C, and D? There's other options you constantly have to be thinking of. And lastly, step 7, measure the results. Just simply take a time out by the end of the week and say, okay, for every person that did it this way, were we still successful? Did it still work this way? How are the results going with this? I can pull a report right now at any of my locations and I can say, okay, this worked and this didn't work. So things like that are important to just simply measure the results to see your progress, because this whole point of problem solving is to get to a more efficient way to run things, because you're always going to be running something and there's always going to be something that doesn't work. And that's how millions are made, being able to solve problems and create a solution. That's why most people are still in business to this day. It's not because they're so great, but the product itself is solving a problem. The product itself is a solution to a problem. And that's something that we have to consistently and constantly evaluate. I always think, what is the thing that's aggravating me at my store and at my operation and at your business? What is that thing? Just for a moment, let's think about this. What is the thing at your business that is aggravating you or kind of bothering you? And what kind of solution can you provide to fix that? And that's how you approach these situations. And it may seem simple enough for some, but I've come to find out that even some of the greatest leaders cannot solve problems without getting stressed out, high blood pressure. Next thing you know, they're stress eating. Now they got diabetes. All these things can factor up. So you need to be able to handle stress well. Take it as literally a grain of salt. Move on after you fix the problem and on to the next one. And that's also part of having resilience. So hopefully all of this has helped. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Give your special lady a gift certificate to the Below Dry Lounge to get her hair done, and then over to Fracassi Lashes for her lashes and her brows done for only $60. That's right, hair done, brows done, and lashes done. Call 225-HAIR or 225-LASH or stop in the Grease Ridge Mall.
Welcome back to the Beauty Boss Millionaire Podcast.
And if you are in the process of starting a business, we know how hard it can be. I know how hard it can be to start a business, to get it going, and all the expenses that come with it. And some people can't get loans. So we actually are doing a cash giveaway, and we're going to be giving away $200. All you have to do is subscribe as well to this podcast, like it, and share, and maybe just show us that you have a business plan that you're working on. It could be a short, brief description of your business, what you're doing, and also send your Cash App. And that person who wins, we're announcing it on episode 21, who won the Cash App. So stay tuned. I hope all this is helping you. And like I said, share it with a friend. We really want to help people be able to develop their business and really grow it. You're listening to Beauty Boss Millionaire. Okay, bye. See you next week.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire Podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Falicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.